Hello universe, welcome to my world. We've done dozens and dozens of Angelina Jordan videos, and it's come to my attention that some people find my videos educational, and some even call me professor. I have a bit of trouble fitting in with this label. I don't think of myself as a professor, I think of myself as a storyteller. But today, by contrast, I'm going to go into professor mode just to show you the difference. Actually, it's not really professor mode, it's pretend professor mode. And how we're going to do that, we're going to have 9 different versions of the same song, all from European singers. But we're going to merge it with the history of the EU. Really? Really. But we're going to have some flashes of Eurovision, we're going to also have some flashes of fun and some flashes of irony, and we hope it's not going to be lost on you. Speaking of lost on you, that is the name of the song that we're doing today. Now, the idea for the EU, the common market, started in the 1950s because Europe was just real tired of having wars, not just the wars of the 20th century, but the history of Europe is the history of wars. And so they decided that there is strength with unity, and they decided to band together. They must have used the US as some type of model, but there's a big difference because the EU is just an economic union, it's not a political union. We start our Eurovision journey in Germany. Germany is one of the founding members of the EU. It's the backbone of Europe in many ways. It's the engine of the European economy. And the German thing we've chosen, her name is Scarlet-darleen. And we've chosen her for a very good reason. She has a combined first name, just like the country that she's from. We're playing the full introduction from the backing track, which is really very catchy and very bouncy. And most of the singers who are doing this song today have a similar bouncing track, but you can really appreciate how catchy this song is. We will not be going into Eurovision mode as far as judging each candidate at the end of their performance. This is Scarlet-darleen from Germany.
When you get older, playing the same note, will you remember all the danger we came from? Burning like embers, falling tender, longing for the days of no surrender years ago.
Next, we're going to France. And of all the versions we're hearing, this is the only one which is not in English. This version is in French, and not surprisingly, the French, given a choice, will always prefer to speak French rather than English. France happens to be the home of the European Parliament in Strasbourg, which alternates in Brussels, and it's a beautiful city, beautiful architecture. They even have a shop that sells only foie gras, which is the Rolls-Royce of pâté. How civilized is that? This is Sara'H singing in French.
Quand tu seras plus vieux, plus assagi, te souviendras-tu des dangers que l'on a franchis? Brûlant comme le feu, mais si tendre, languissant des jours que l'on ne pouvait plus attendre. Et tu le sais.
Next, we're visiting Italy, which is another founding member of the EU. All of Europe came about through the ashes of the Roman Empire, and Roman law is the foundation for almost every country's legal foundation. This is Arianna Palazetti from Italy.
When you get older, playing the same, will you remember all the danger we came from? Burning like embers, falling tender, longing for the days of no surrender years ago. And we'll know.
Next, we're going to Holland, and we're hearing the version from Vanken. It's a little bit different. It's acoustic guitar version, And in Holland, we have The Hague, which is the seat of the European Court. Do you have time for a story? Do you know in Amsterdam there's a very famous house called the Coachman's House? Because a few hundred years ago there was a coachman who said, "I wish I had a house as wide as my master's front door." So his master built him a house as wide as his front door. Famous landmark in Amsterdam.
When you get older, plainer, saner, will you remember all the danger we came from? Burning like ember, falling tender, long before the days of no surrender years ago. And will you know, smoke 'em if you got 'em, 'cause it's going down. All I ever wanted was you.
Next, we're going to Switzerland. Switzerland is not actually in the EU. It's remained neutral throughout history, and it also has remained outside the EU. Switzerland has been very lucky because they have not had a war on their soil since Napoleon, and they're located in the belly of Europe, and they also are very European because they feature 3 different languages in Switzerland: Italian, French, and German, with a touch of Romansh, which is a traditional language nestled in the mountains in Switzerland. This is Zoe Staubli from Switzerland.
When you get older, plainer, saner, when you remember all the danger we came from. Burning like embers, falling tender, long before the days of no surrender years ago. And well, you know, smoke them if you got 'em, 'cause it's going down.
Next, we're going to Greece. Greece is a country of contrasts. They have extremes next to each other. On one hand, ancient Greece is the founder of democracy, but Greece as a country almost went bankrupt a few years back, and they needed to be bailed out by the EU. We also have extremes in the performance which is representing Greece. It's a band called Cubaneros, and the female singers are Cuban, and the 2 musicians are brothers, and they are Greek. And this is a salsa version.
Aquellos tiempos sé que no es fácil, yo lo entiendo de verdad. No quiero rechazos, quiero abrazos, sé que lo siento, yo lo hago de verdad. Déjate llevar. Smoking if you got it, 'cause it's going down. Todo lo que quiero eres tú.
Next, just up the coast from Greece, nestled between Greece and Montenegro, is the country of Albania. Albania for many years was not really an open country, but that all changed after the fall of the Berlin Wall. And for Albania, its EU application is pending. You can actually see the Albanian coast from the northeast corner of the island of Corfu. And Dua Lipa, the English singer, she is of Albanian heritage. This is from an Albanian talent show.
It was you. I never get to heaven 'cause I don't know how. Let's raise the glass or two.
Next, we're going to Romania. Romania came very late to the party. It only joined the EU maybe 10 or 12 years ago. Romania is on the edge of the EU, just as it was on the edge of the Roman Empire. Romanian is actually a Latin language. They were very strongly influenced by the Roman Empire. By the way, for those history buffs, Ovid, the famous Roman poet, he was exiled to Romania. The singer from Romania is named Seredinschi.
When you get older, plainer, saner, will you remember all the danger we came from? Burning like an embers, falling tender, longing for the days of no surrender years ago. And will you know?
Finally, we reach the original. This is the American singer LP. She does a fine version. It's also very bouncy, very similar to some of the other covers we've heard.
When you get older, plainer, saner, will you remember all the danger we came from? Burning like embers, falling tender, longing for the days of no surrender years ago. And will you know? So smoke 'em if you got 'em, 'cause it's going down.
And now we reach Angelina Jordan. She's from Norway. Norway has always remained neutral, has never been in the EU. Angelina Jordan, now living in California, and she does a different version. Her version captures the pathos, captures the pain. She has a way of singing where she sounds like she's half singing and half crying. It's a massive difference between Angelina Jordan and all the others. Have a listen.
When we get older, plainer, saner, will you remember all the danger we came from? Burning like embers, falling tender, longing for the days of no surrender years ago. And will you know? So smoke 'em if you got 'em, 'cause it's going down. All I ever wanted was you. I'll never get to heaven, 'cause I don't know how. Let's raise a glass or two to all the things I've lost on you. Oh, tell me, are they lost on you? Oh, just that you could cut me loose. Oh, after all the things I've lost on you, things I've lost on you.
Can you see yet why we have an Angelina Jordan channel? She redefines the nature of a song. Quite simple, really, quite simple. Okay, we will keep redefining songs with Angelina Jordan. Okay, gang, I'm out of here. I'll catch you later.